about starting a craft business and wondering what type of handmade business would be the best for you to start? Maybe you want to make sure that the crafts that you are making will be profitable and that you'll have a successful business. Well, if you are only focused on the what type of products to make, you're already headed in the wrong direction. But in this video, I'm going to share the secret of successful handmade businesses and what you should really be focusing on instead to figure out how to be successful for the long term. Hi, I'm Mallory Whitfield, and this is Badass Creatives, your home for marketing advice for artists, makers, and badass creative business owners just like you who want to learn how to market your products in a way that won't make you feel burnt out and will help you be successful. I've taught marketing to hundreds of creative entrepreneurs. I'm a frequent speaker at events like Craftcation Conference, a former adjunct professor for Tulane University's School of Professional Advancement, and I run my own program, the Badass Creatives Marketing Accelerator. Okay, so if you head to Google and type in the question, what handmade business to start, which maybe you already have if you're watching this video, you may have seen lists of different types of products, things like jewelry, candles, handbags, greeting cards, soap, all sorts of handmade products that you could sell. And okay, those are totally valid things that you could be selling. But if you're only focused on that, what to sell, you're gonna run into some problems. If you're thinking about starting a handmade business, you need to make something for sure, but if you want to have a successful handmade business that you won't want to leave and quit in just a few months or a year or two, I encourage you to think deeper, especially at the beginning, and think instead about who you want to be selling your products to. When you start with the question of who instead of the question of what type of products, you're gonna give yourself more freedom to add other products later down the line if you decide that you want to make more types of things. You are also going to be much more focused about who you are marketing your products to, and I promise everything about running your handmade business is going to be easier if you can figure this out as early as possible. So let me share an example of something that happened to me just recently. I was out shopping in this cute little beach town with a few friends, and we were exploring the boutiques and art galleries and shops in the area. And we go into this one art gallery, and it's full of stuff that's pretty typical of this area. We're in a beach town, so there's lots of beautiful scenes of, the beach, and there's like crabs and seagulls and those sorts of themes in a lot of the products that we're seeing there. And then I noticed this really nice collection of ceramic pottery, like glassware and these little shot glasses. And a lot of the shot glasses I noticed had the typical decor. It was like crabs and the seagulls and things like that. But then I noticed a set of shot glasses that had these dice that I recognized. They looked like this basically, but on the shot glass. And I don't know if you know what these are, but to somebody that really loves the game that is played with these, which is Dungeons and Dragons, these dice are very important. And so my friend Leo that was with me is a huge gamer. He loves Dungeons and Dragons. And so I saw that that's what was represented on these shot glasses, and I pointed them out to him just because it was such a surprising thing to see these D&D, Dungeons and Dragons shot glasses in this little coastal beach town. And he was so into it, he ended up buying both shot glasses, and these were at least $20 a piece. Each of these handmade ceramic shot glasses were at least $20 a piece. So he spent more than $40 on 2 shot glasses at this store just because they had an emblem of something that meant a lot to him. And so this story about my friend Leo buying these shot glasses just because they had something that represented Dungeons and Dragons, one of his favorite games, this is why I encourage you to think about the who instead of the what when you're starting a craft business. Now, the what is definitely something to consider. You probably already have some sort of artistic or creative skills or interests, certain types of crafts that you enjoy making. Maybe you already know how to knit or crochet. Maybe you already sew. Maybe you're a painter or a designer or an illustrator. And so certain types of products might come more naturally if you already have those skills or interests. But if you're only focused on the what of what you're making, you're gonna be much more likely to burn out. At some point, I've seen this happen to a lot of craft businesses and handmade artists. If you're only focused on making the thing over and over again, and you don't have some other deeper connection to it and to the people who are buying it, you're more likely to get burnt out. You're more likely to eventually start feeling sort of like a one-person factory, right? We are makers, we are artists, we are creatives. And if you want to have a craft business that lasts the long term, I encourage you to think of something that makes it more personal and deeper and more interesting to you, and that can also help you connect to your ideal customer. The other thing about being really specific about who you're selling these products to is it makes it easier to market your products. So let's go back to the D&D example. So if you are selling to someone like my friend Leo, who loves Dungeons and Dragons and would easily recognize this dice, whether it was pictured on a t-shirt or a tote bag or on a shot glass made of ceramics, that customer is going to be a lot easier to market to than just selling plain generic patterned ceramic shot glasses, for example. Now, I wouldn't build an entire business around Dungeons and Dragons because that's actually a copyrighted game. It is somebody else's intellectual property. And even using that name in your, product listings and things could get you in trouble. I'm not a lawyer, but these are always things to think about. However, most of the people that I know that play Dungeons and Dragons also play other tabletop role-playing games. And people who are enthusiasts of tabletop role-playing games, that could be a potential ideal customer and target customer for a handmade business. You could make all sorts of products that were targeted towards enthusiasts of tabletop role-playing games. I've seen people make products that are, bags that you can carry your game dice in. Most of the people that I play with, I do play Dungeons and Dragons. Most of the people that I play with have little bags and little things that they keep all of their dice in, right? So there are things that if that's you, if you are a D&D enthusiast or a role-play gamer, you might know of products that you could make for other people like that, and you could hand make those products. So suddenly it makes it easier to target the way that you do your product photography, the way that you write your product descriptions, whether on Etsy or on your own website. It also makes it easier to find in-person events. So you could do game-specific events. You could partner with local game shops, right? You could maybe sell your products at a local game store. It suddenly makes everything much clearer. Let me give you another example. So this is Iggy. He is my dog. He's a cute little rescue dachshund. Lots of people are big pet enthusiasts, and lots of people who have dogs and cats and other pets love to have stuff that reminds them of their cute little pet, right? So gifts for dachshund lovers, in my case, right? You could have that as your target audience, and you could create handmade products that were specific to people who love their dachshunds or their golden retrievers or whatever type of dog it is. When you target a specific type of person and their interests, it makes everything that much easier. You can optimize your Etsy shop descriptions, your website product descriptions. You can edit the way that you do your photos to really target that ideal customer. In the dog example, this again opens up other opportunities for specific types of events that you might want to participate in or partnerships that you might want to create. You could partner with a local veterinary clinic to sell your products in their shop. You could partner with a local, there's Iggy. You could partner with a local pet rescue organization. Maybe you could donate a small percentage of your profits to them, and they in return could help send you customers and help promote your business. Now, again, when we're thinking about the who we want to target as our ideal customer, we do want to make sure we're not infringing on anybody else's copyright and not building an entire business around targeting someone else's intellectual property, right? So, fans of Disney, that's going to be really tricky because they're fans of a specific property that somebody else owns. But fans of cute cartoons and cute things, maybe kawaii, Japanese cute cartoons and anime and things like that, right? As long as it's not a specific anime property that is owned by some other corporation or some other artist or creator, but when it's the more general interest, Things like people who are really into the outdoors, people who are into hiking, people who are into yoga. As soon as you get more specific about that, it makes it much more clear about where you can find those people, whether online or in person, and how you can really create a brand that will speak directly to those people versus trying to make your stuff be interesting to as wide of an audience as possible, which is going to make it really, really hard to stand out, and it's going to make it really, really hard to grow your handmade business. So I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Do you have an idea of who your ideal customer is, who you would like to be making your handmade products for? Let me know below. And if you're just getting started with your business and looking for ways to promote your products, looking for ways to talk about it, looking for ideas for content, check out my free resource, 100 marketing content ideas for artists, makers, and handmade business owners. You can find it at badasscreatives.com/100ideas. I'll be putting out new videos each week, so be sure to subscribe and like and all that stuff, and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you next time. Okay.